Hello there, I'm Richard and I'm interested in modern careers and what we have to do to be successful in organisations as we navigate ourselves through sometimes tricky waters. And I coach and I teach and I also write career-minded business books, and it's great fun and I love what I do. When we're thinking about how to get a job, an obvious question is, what top tips are there that I can just do now to improve what I'm doing? The first thing I would say to people is get some support, because if you're on your own, you're only as good as your own levels of self-awareness, and there's nothing better than having a supporters club. So think of 4 or 5 friends or business contacts or industry professionals that you can ring up and say, "Hi Richard, can you come and do some cake? Because I need some help." "Yeah, I do cake." And we can go to a cafe, you can show me a CV, and we'll see how we're getting on. I've used supporters in the past and it's made a massive difference for 2 reasons. One, it's kept me in awareness, and secondly, I don't go home to my poor wife and say, "Oh, let me have a look at this, let's practice, she's busy, she wants to be getting on with something else." A good tip is practice the question, "So Richard, tell me something about yourself." And practice your answer in a minute. So for example, I might say, "I'm a coach and a writer, I've written 4 books and I've coached for 10 years, and before that I have a background in operations management and I've led teams of about 150 people across 3 or 4 factories." And a good story, gosh, I went to Saudi Arabia once to sort out a problem, and I did a presentation to 50 people via a satellite link up that lasted for an hour. It was amazing, and it's a true story too, and I loved it, and hard work, but I did a good job. So in summary, I love coaching, I like writing, and I understand business. Now, that takes about a minute. If you package it like that with something about what you've done, a story and a summary, people will get a good sense of you very quickly. A good question is, "So Richard, give me 3 good things about yourself and 3 things that you don't like." This is, I call it a good question because it's a question you can anticipate. And the bad bit is a bit of a trap, because if you say, "Yeah, well, I'm always late to work and I never finish work on time, and yeah, and I don't do that either," they're not going to like you. So imagine you're going to be asked that question and think of something that's defendable. Classics would be, "Yeah, I need to work hard to keep my desk tidy." Alternative might be, "I'm really enthusiastic and sometimes I've got to learn when to hold back." Or maybe, "I tend to work really late and I forget, I've got a family and a home life, so if I'm doing that, do nudge me and I'll make sure I'm not asleep at my desk at midnight." They're all good answers because they are legitimate foibles and they don't dig a big hole for ourselves. Now lastly, if there's something you can do more of, it's smile. Because if you're smiling, the world generally does smile with you, you feel good about yourself, and the way to make sure that you can smile is change your self-talk. Instead of walking into an interview and saying to yourself, "Oh, I'm so nervous, they're gonna find out I'm a fraud," you say to yourself, "Hey, I'm okay, I'm going to do really well here, it looks like a good company, I'd like to work there and I'm looking forward to it." Open the door, smile and say, "Nice to meet you, it's been a pleasure to be invited here today, thank you very much." And of course, you're off to a good start. People buy people. If you're smiling, they'll smile and they're more likely to buy you. Easy tips and no reason not to do them. So have fun with them and enjoy being more successful.